Hi, my name is Dan Killey, and I'm the VP of Customer Engagement here at ebankIT, and I'm Canadian. And so I know some of my colleagues have been talking about, the best panel, the best discussion, but Canada's different. We're a little more humble, so I'm going to actually say sorry. Sorry that you have to spend 10 minutes listening about Canada and listening to me. So hopefully I'm true to being Canadian here. So we're after the coffee break. But we also want to get things kind of excited and get things going. So we're actually going to have some audience participation here. So what I'd love to do is we have both direct and indirect customers here today from Canada. So I'd love to have my Canadian customers put your hand up. Let the room know who you are. Hands up. Come on, gentlemen. Great. And keep them up for a second. And if you're a partner or just from Canada and you're here, put your hand up. Great. Thank you. So first, some of you have come from the far side of Canada, the West Coast, like myself. Been quite the travel journey to get here, so really appreciate that you guys have come out in force. Canada is our largest single market here at ebankIT. We power over 35 different financial institutions in Canada use our platform, so really great that some of you have come out today. But I also had them put their hands up, so now you know who they are. And as you go into lunch and this afternoon, you can say hi. And the formal greeting is, oh, so you're from Canada, eh? And they will then know you're very friendly and you want to talk about things, or what do you think about AI, eh? Just add that on there and things will go really, really well. They'll know you're friendly and want to talk about things. But let's get into what we're here to really talk about, which is what's happening in Canada. So we've learned over the last 2 days, there's the things that are happening all over the world that all of us are impacted on, but what are the unique things and challenges that are happening in Canada? So, we've seen AI is taking over the world. We're all in this geopolitical situation right now. The financial world is happening to all of us. But some of the unique things happening in Canada right now is we are relatively behind on consumer-driven banking, open banking. In 2023, we started really the more formal journey where we had an economic statement come out that really committed Canada on that journey. From there, we really got quite excited that it was moving forward in June of 2024. So a year ago, the Consumer-Driven Banking Act was passed. And again, those of us in there really got excited. It's going to happen. Here it comes. And in the fall, we had an economic statement come out that really kind of set the framework for it and how it was going to come to life. Again, really excited. We really thought, it's finally here. And they had committed to expecting it in early 2026. And yes, was very excited. And then this little thing earlier this year in Canada happened, which is we had a federal election. So we now have a new prime minister. And with the economic turmoil happening, the government is very much focused on stabilizing the economy and all that sort of fun stuff. So we now really don't know when we're going to have consumer-driven finance here in Canada, and it might come quite quick or might not. So that's one of the things that the digital experience needs to be watching for. The next up is payments in Canada. Also, arguably, especially from my European friends here, is rather far behind. It can be quite challenging to move money around in Canada. If I want to send more than $10,000 in a given week, you basically can't. You wait to the second week. Like you can send $10,000 a week and that's it. And that's total. So if I need to send some to some and some to someone else, I have to decide who I'm paying in a given week. So with RTR, we got to 60% of the build complete just earlier this quarter, and we expect it to be done in Q3, and then it goes into testing and things like that. The running joke for some of us was, how can you say it's complete if you haven't tested it yet? But anyways, it is seemingly coming soon, and those that are a bit worried are worried that these might come at the same time as open banking, in the same year, in the same one, where we're going to be trying to launch both of these. Let's hope that there's a little bit of wiggle room there, but it's possible that these are also going to hit at an unlikely time. And then in the Canadian financial environment, we have a lot of mergers and acquisitions happening right now. And in fact, when I took a moment to reflect on this. We have 6 direct customers, and we have a bunch of indirect customers in Canada. And all 6 of my direct customers are going through a merger and acquisition right now, all of them. And it really presents an interesting time for us. One, obviously that distracts the organization with some very important things. It's also presented some unique challenges where it was the first time we ever had 2 different ebankIT customers decided to merge together. So they had 2 different versions of our platform, and we needed to say, great, okay, we need to bring them together. We've been really good at bringing folks over from other platforms. Now we needed to merge our own data from 2 different installations. So 6 customers, all under merger. Some of our have an active vote right now. Some have voted, and they're well in their way of integrating their technology. But in some way or another, they're all going through an acquisition. And so really thought that was quite an interesting data point for the customers. And then we had a competitor in Canada, and they decided to exit the market. Felt it wasn't viable to provide digital banking just to Canadians from Canada. And so we instantly had about 170 financial institutions in Canada rushing to the door and saying, I need to get off my current digital platform, and I'm looking for someone like you. Can you help me? And so while they're trying to tackle the economic headwinds, they're trying to tackle RTR, they're trying to tackle open finance, they now need to re-platform and look at someone like us. So makes for a fun, challenging time where you're also tackling AI, you're also tackling everything else that's happening in the world. And so that really makes Canada fun and unique for us. And so really appreciate that you've come today. Again, this should say sorry that you had to listen to Canada for a few minutes. Thank you for your time.